Right. So this was the paper we were talking about, and we did the six. This was the last question which we did yesterday. So the next part is this one. It's question number 10. Let's do it. Okay. So it says the volume of a solid metal sphere is 24,430 centimeter cubed. Calculate the radius of the sphere. Now it is easy. The formula for volume is given. This is how we find volume of a sphere, and the volume is 24,430. The volume is 24430, and you need to find the radius. So I have just plugged in the volume, and this is what I would get. Now this is an equation with one unknown variable only, so I know how to find the value. I'll be making r the subject of the equation. So I'll take this 3 and 4 to the other side. So 3 by 4 multiplied by 24430. Then I will also take this pi on the other side. So it would be divided. It can be written this way, and I would left with r cubed. So r would be equal to cube root of 3 by 4 pi multiplied by 24,430. This is going to give you the value of r. Now I did not do calculations on every step. Let's just do one big calculation. So cube root, then fraction sign, 3 divided by 4 pi. Be very careful while plugging in the values. So the radius would turn out to be 18.000239.6. So answer is going to be 18 centimeters only, right? So we are going to write down the answer this way: 18 centimeters. Okay. So it would be 18 centimeters, right? Anything that you were not able to understand in the first part, Turhan and Saneem?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So for the second part, now it's important. The understanding is important. Now it says there's a 3-mark question. The metal sphere is placed in an empty tank. The tank is a cylinder with radius 50 centimeters standing on its circular base. Water is poured into the tank to a depth of 60 centimeters. Calculate the number of liters of water needed. Imagine that you have a circular tank and you have placed the metal sphere in it, and now you are to pour water in it till this depth. Okay. So how many liters of water would be required? So for such questions, I'll be talking about the volume of the cylinder. I'll subtract the volume of the metal sphere just so I have the volume left, and that would basically give me the number of liters of water. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the volume of a cylinder. What is the formula for volume of a cylinder? It would be pi. Very good. Pi r squared h. Okay, h is 60, r is 50. So let's do it. Pi multiplied by 50 squared multiplied by 60. Please find the value and tell me the answer. Pi into 50 squared into 60. And this would give you 15000.
It's 4. Yeah, pi.
Okay, very good. Okay, centimeter cubes. The units are very important. You'll see why. Okay, now this is the volume of the cylinder as it is for this much depth. I will put the metal sphere inside, so I'll subtract the volume of that. Minus 24430. This is the volume of the metal sapphire, 24430, and this is going to give me the remaining volume. So this value minus 24430, and I would get 446808.898 centimeter cubed. Okay, I'm writing it down completely because I need to explain something. So this value is centimeter cube. And in one of the previous classes, Saneem asked me that, ma'am, can you please explain the relationship between centimeter cube and millimeter cube, something of that type, right? So 1 centimeter cube is equal to 1 milliliter. So this means that we have 446,809 milliliters of water. This much water would be needed, and this amount in liters is going to be this thing divided by 1000. So I would get 446.8 liters. So you can give the final answer as 446.8, or you can just write now 447 liters of water would be needed. Because yes, I'm rounding it off because the question did not say exactly or stuff like that. So if you do not find such keyword, it's fine to just round off your answer a little bit, but it's completely fine if you're giving the answer till 1 decimal place as well. That is also okay. Okay. So is that okay? Anything that you were not able to understand in this part?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Saneem?
Yes, it's clear.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
clear.
All right. Thank you. So now it says a different tank is a cuboid measured 1.8 meters by 1.5 meters by 1.2 meters. Water flows from a pipe into this tank at a rate of 200 centimeter cubed per second. Find the time it takes to fill the tank. Give your answer in hours and minutes. All right. Now, this is the question, and we are supposed to find the time it takes. So, think about it for 2 minutes and then tell me the answer. If you're not able to do it, then I'll do it for you. Yes, very good, Salim. Turhan, are you able to do this?
Yes, it's can I say it or should I
Yes, yes, yes.
privately send it?
You can tell me.
It's 4 hours, 30 minutes.
Very well done. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. So both of you were able to do this. Okay. So I just highlighted the important keywords which were necessary. Right. So let's talk about the next part. The diagram shows two mathematically similar shapes with areas 295 and 159.5. The width of the larger shape is 17 centimeters. Calculate the width of the smaller shape. Now they have told you that the two diagrams are mathematically similar. So we know whenever anything is mathematically similar, we can talk about the ratios. So what do we have? We have the areas. So area of the bigger triangle, let's call it A1 divided by A2. Right now, I need to be careful with this part because this is the area and the units are centimeters squared. And otherwise, how am I doing this? I'm doing this questions by simply just taking the fraction. Since this is the area, so I would be taking the under root in this case. So I'll take the under root of this. So this value would give me the fraction of the bigger triangle to the smaller triangle. So this would be equal to 17 divided by x. I need to find x. X would be the width of the smaller triangle. Let's do that quickly. So we need to plug in the values directly. Under the root, then fraction. A1 is 295 divided by 159.5. Okay. So I'll cross multiply and x is going to give me 17 divided by the answer I got 1.3597 because I'll be using the value directly whatever I'm getting, so that does not matter. And then 17 divided by this value, and it would give me 12.5. So it is completely fine. If you guys did it from a different method, the answer should be same, because I do understand that for such questions the working can be different, but the answer should be same, right? So any doubt, but always remember, let's say if you had volume of both the shapes, so for such scenarios, obviously for similar shapes we are just talking about the 2D shapes at this point, but in general you need to be careful with the units. If the areas are given, you cannot compare the areas directly. You need to take the under root and then talk about the that fraction. Yes, so any doubts with this question, anything that you were not able to understand? Okay, and what about you, Turhan?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the next question. We have not discussed any question of this type, so let's do it quickly. They are very, very easy. Okay. Now it says the sequence of diagrams above is made up of small lines and dots. Complete the table. Now I'll tell you honestly, if you start counting these lines and dots, I would never ever advise you that, because for diagram 6 you do not have a shape. Okay. So we will do that using this table. I'll zoom it. Forget about whatever it is. You can see that there would be a sequence. Okay, so we have two sequences. One is called the number of small lines and the other one is the number of dots. Let's talk about the first one. Let's talk about this one. Okay. Now the first value is 4. For going from 4 to 10, I need to add what? I need to add 6. From 10 to 18, I need to add 8. From 18 to 28, I need to add 10. So we studied different types of sequences. Is it arithmetic sequence? Is the difference fixed? No, the difference is not fixed. Is the difference of difference fixed? Like from going from 6 to 8, I need to add 2. For going from 8 to 10, I need to add 2, right? So what type of sequence was this? This was a quadratic sequence, right? You guys remember this quadratic sequence?
Yes.
Okay. So now I can see that for going from 4 to 10, I added 6. From 10 to 18, I added 8. From 18 to 28, I added 10. Now I would be adding 12. So 28 plus 12 would give me 40. And then I'll be adding 14. So that would give me 54. So that is how I am going to find the values. There's no point in counting the lines and doing it. That method would not work for the final diagram. Always try understanding the pattern. Let's look at the next one. Now from 4 to 8, the difference is of plus 4. From 8 to 13, I need to add 5. Then I'm adding 6. And the difference of difference is fixed. From 4 to 5 and 5 to 6, I am adding the same thing, plus 1 and plus 1. Again, it's quadratic. So for finding out the next one, I am going to add plus 7. So 29 plus 7 would give me 26. And then I will add plus 8. So 26 plus 8 would give me 34. That is how I am going to fill in the table. Okay. So any doubts with the first 4-mark question of this question? With the first 4-mark part? Anyone who thinks that you can do it
No.
through some other method? Okay, all right. Very good. Let's talk about the next part. Now it's a 2-mark question. It says the diagram N, for diagram N, find an expression in terms of n for the number of lines. So we are going to focus on the first sequence and you are to find the nth term basically, right? The nth term of a quadratic sequence. So I've taught you the method. Please try doing it. And if you're not able to do it, then I'll help you do it. Very well done, both of you. Turhan, is it 3n plus n square? I think you missed that square, right?
N square? I'm not sure about that.
You're saying it's 3n plus n?
No, sorry, I see. Never mind, sorry.
Just check it once again because your answer is correct, but it should be n square plus 3n, okay?
Yeah, I see how I got it wrong now.
Okay.
Yep.
All
Thank you.
right. So it would be n squared plus 3n. And this is the expression for the nth term of a quadratic sequence, okay? The next part says the diagram R, so there's some diagram R and it has 1 0 3 0 0 small lines. Find the value of R. So if it is the diagram R, we are going to write it down this way: R squared plus 3R equals 10300. So R squared plus 3R minus 10300. For finding the value of R, I can use multiple ways, but the most suitable one would be the quadratic formula. So R is equal to B squared minus P plus minus under the root B squared minus 4AC divided by 2A. So the answer is going to be what? We will just talk about the positive one. So minus 3 plus under root 9 minus 4 into minus 10300. This value divided by 2 would give you 100 directly, okay? So this is going to be 100. So I just used the positive part. I did not talk about the negative one because I knew that it would give me a negative answer. And I cannot get a negative answer because R should be a positive number, right? We have the first diagram, second diagram, third diagram. We do not have minus first diagram or minus second diagram. Okay. So R is the number of diagram. It is supposed to be positive. That is why I just use the positive one. Yes, is that okay? Any doubts? Anything that you were not able to understand? Any student, please tell me quickly. Okay. Turhan, are you okay with this?
Yes.
Right. The last part says, the last question and the last part of this exam says, the number of dots in diagram n is an square plus bn plus 1. Find the value of a and the value of b. So either you can find this ab directly, or what you can do is you can just find the nth term expression for the number of dots and compare it with this one. So let's do it that way. I'll just scroll up. This is the sequence right in front of you. Please try finding out the nth term for this sequence now. I'll just erase everything for the other one. Right. The nth term formula for the number of dots. That is the question right now. Please do it and tell me the value. The method would be same. Yes, Turhan, did you get any answer? Very good, Saneem, your answer is correct.
I'm almost.
Okay, I'll just wait for you. Don't worry. I can write down the value meanwhile. Yes, Turhan, are you getting this expression? 1 by 2n squared plus 5 by 2n plus 1.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So the method would be similar. It would be 1 by 2n squared plus 5 by 2n plus 1. Now, when you are to find the value of a and b, we are just supposed to compare. This is a, the coefficient of n, and this is 1 by 2, the coefficient of n squared. This is b, the coefficient of n, and this is the coefficient of n, 5 by 2. So the answer would be 1 by 2 and 5 by 2. A would be 1 by 2 and B is supposed to be 5 by 2. Okay, and that is it. This was the last question for this paper. Yes, anything that you were not able to understand? Any doubts with these questions which we have discussed today? Please tell me quickly.
No, ma'am.
All right, okay. So I am going to talk about another thing now. Right. So let's talk about this question. Now, it is a simple question. It's from geometry. It says ABCD is a parallelogram, ADC is a straight line, F is the point on AD, so that BFE is a straight line. The angle EFD is given, the angle DCB is given. Show that the angle ABF is 70 degrees. You need to show this angle. So try finding it out and then I'll ask you. Yes. What would be the value of ABF? Okay, all right, Salim, it's okay. Let's do it together. Now it's very simple, so I'll tell you. It looks a bit technical, but this is what we have discussed in classes as well, okay? I've told you earlier as well, the examiner is just going to give you the information that is required. Now, ABCD is a parallelogram, means that this side and this side would be parallel. So imagine that AD and BC, we have two parallel lines which are being cut by a transversal, that is BE. So if we talk about corresponding angles, this is angle 35, this and this would also be 35. And these are corresponding angles, right? So now, again, we are going to use the idea of two parallel lines. So AB and DC, they are also parallel if we have two parallel lines. And if we talk about the sum of interior angles, so this angle, this purple angle plus this 75 should be equal to 180 degrees, okay? So complete angle at B plus complete angle at C would give you 180 degrees. So angle at B would be 180 minus C, that is 75 degrees, and B would be 105 degrees. Now complete B is 105. If I subtract 35, I am going to get the blue angle as 70 degrees, and this is what I was supposed to show. Okay. So the important thing is that we need to revise some properties. Always remember, whenever you have two parallel lines, it could be that the examiner is not stating that, but he is showing that through arrows, or the examiner would tell you that if it is a parallelogram, you know that we have two pairs of parallel lines, right? So for parallel lines, always remember the sum of this angle and this angle would give you 180 degrees. A plus D would be equal to 180. Now, if I talk about AD and BC as two parallel lines which are being cut by transversal AB, so angle A plus angle B would also give me 180. Similarly, angle at D plus angle at C would also give me 180. And lastly, the one which we have used, B plus C, would give me 180. So if we have two parallel lines in general and they're being cut by a transversal, the sum of interior angles, this angle plus this angle would give you 180. Two parallel lines that are being cut by a transversal, this angle and this angle would give you 180. Similarly, this plus this would also give you 180. Is that okay now? Anything that you're not able to understand?
No, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay, and what about you, Turhan?
It's also clear.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the next one. So let me take out this one. Yes. Now it says, here is a rectangle. All the measurements are in centimeters. The area of the rectangle is 40 centimeters square. Show that y is equal to 3. You need to find the value of y. And what do we know? We know that this is a rectangle. So how do we show y? Please try doing it. Yes.
Okay, so it's
Yes.
2x plus 6 equals
Very
5x
well done.
minus 9.
Excellent. Very
And
good.
once we get that, we can do the x times y equals 48, and
Very
then we
well
can
done.
substitute it and get y.
Yes, very good. Perfect. Excellent. Okay. So I'll make x the subject. I'll take 9 over there and I'll take this 2 on this side. So 6 plus 9 would give you 3x. And this is 15 divided by 3. That is x. So x has turned out to be 5. So okay, now we have 2x plus 6 into y. So 2x plus 6 would be 16. into y is giving me 48. So y would be equal to 48 divided by 16, and the answer is going to be 3. Hence, we have shown that the value of y is 3. Yes, is that okay, Saneem?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Let's talk about another one. It's easy. Okay, this one, yes. Okay. Belena has a garden in the shape of a circle of radius 10 meters. He is going to cover the garden with grass seed to make a lawn. Grass seed is sold in boxes. Each box of grass seed will cover 46 meters squared of the garden. Work out an estimate of the number of boxes of grass seed Belena needs. You must do your working. You need to find an estimate, okay? So we know for such questions, we round off things initially. So each box of grass seed will cover 46 meters squared. We need to find the number of boxes required. So let's find the area of the garden first. If the radius is 10 meters, so it would be pi r squared, and that is going to give you 100 pi. Yes, okay. Very good, Turhan, excellent. Okay, so 100 pi is basically the number, and now I need to divide it by 46. Okay, so when you solve this, you are going to get 6.8 something. And since it is an estimate, now I'll tell you, for the estimate questions, we have multiple approaches. Okay, either you can just round off this pi, find the value just so things are simple. Let's say, for example, let's say I use the value of pi as 3.1, for example. Instead of using 3.14, I use it as 3.1. This would have given me 310. And now when I will divide it by 46, whatever value I get, I would be knowing that that is an underestimate. Okay, let's do it now. So you would get approximately 6.7 something, because the next part of this question was, is your estimate for part A an underestimate or an overestimate? Okay. So this rounding off is completely your choice. It could be that some of you just uses something else. Okay. So your answer to the second part would vary from student to student. It totally depends on your estimate. Okay. So let's say if this is what you were getting, let's say you plugged in the values directly and you got 6.8 something and you wrote 7. So now you would say that it is an overestimate, right? And if you were writing it at 6, you would have said it is an underestimate. Yes. Is that okay? Anything that you were not able to understand in this part, please tell me honestly. Okay. And what about you, Turhan? Any doubts? Yes, Turhan? Turhan, are you there? Okay. So now you need to solve this equation. It's 4x minus 5 equals 18. We need to find the value of x. That's very simple. I'll directly take this 4 on the other side and I'll divide it. So this equals 18 by 4 and x would be, very well done. Okay, excellent, Turhan. It would be 9.5. Very good. And the next part says, write down all the possible values of t. T is an integer and it is greater than -3 and less than equal to 2. So yes, please tell me the answer for this part.
-2 minus 1 0 1 2.
Very good. Well done. -2 -1 0, 1, 2. Okay. All right. So this is the last question for today. I am a bit confused. I am not sure if we have discussed this earlier or not. But yes, let's do it. So it says this rectangular frame is made from 5 straight pieces of metal. The weight of the metal is 1.5 kgs per meter. Work out the total weight of the metal in the frame. So this rectangular frame is made of 5 straight pieces. You can see that each meter weighs 1.5 kgs. So you need to find the total weight by first finding out the total meters and then multiplying it by 1.5. So I'll wait for 2 minutes. Please work out your answers and type that in chat box. Turhan, please check it once again. Please just check it once again. Your answer is slightly different. Not slightly, like it is different, but yeah, just check it once again. Yes, Salim, can you do it? Okay, both the students are getting the same answer, but actually the answer is different. Let me see. Okay, I did it with the A. I think it's wrong. Okay, I'll tell you. I think both of you have done the same mistake. I'll tell you, okay? It says this rectangular frame is made from 5 straight pieces. Let's look at those 5 straight pieces first. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So we have the dimensions for the first two. Let's find out for the other one. This side would also be 12. This would be 5 because it is a rectangle. And for the center one, it is making a right angle triangle. So by using Pythagoras theorem, I can find this length. So 5 square plus 12 square would be equal to x square. 169 under the root equals x, and that would give me 13. So I have all the 5 sides. Let's find the sum. So it is 24 plus 10 plus 13, and that is going to give me, okay, I think that is why you wrote 47, if I'm not wrong. So it would give you 47. This 47 meters is just the sum of the boundary sides or the total sides or the total length of this shape. Per meter, the weight is 1.5 kgs. So if you have 47 meters, what would be the weight? 47 multiplied by 1.5, and that is going to give you 70.5. Yes. Is that okay? Anything that you were not able to understand for this part? Okay. And what about you, Turhan? Any doubts?
No.
All right. Okay. Let me scroll up quickly and let me see if we can do some other question. It is actually easy. Okay. There's one last question and then that is it for today. It says Rainy buys 5 kg of sweets to sell. She pays 10 pounds for the sweets. Rainy puts all the sweets into the bags. She puts 250 grams of sweets into each bag. She sells each bag of sweets for 65 pence. Rainy sells all the bags of sweets. Work out her percentage profit. 5 kgs and 250 kgs. So how many number of bags is she going to have? First, just take a minute, read the question, and then start answering me. Very well done, Turhan. Excellent. Okay. So the number of bags is going to be how many? 4 into 5?
20
Very good. 20 bags, and each bag, she sold each bag for 65 pence. So
or
20
65.
into 65, and that would give you
Um, it was I think
1300, right? Yes.
1300. Yes.
This 1300 is
Divided
basically
by
the
100
pence. Very good. And this would give you
or
pounds,
pounds,
13 pounds.
which
And
is
this,
13, and
yeah, and
then
this 10 pounds. So 3 pound would be the profit. 3 divided by 10 multiplied by 100 would give you 30%. And that is the correct answer. You were supposed to find the percentage profit. Yes. Anything that you were not able to understand, Turhan and Saneem?
no, ma'am.
Okay. And Saneem, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll stop sharing the screen. I'll stop the recording.